Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful day. We had storms last night, thunder and lightning and other such interesting things like that. I'm on my way through the centre of Paris. So anyhow, the news, if you watched the last video, and I'll stick it up in the corner or whatever, I was under the knife last week, which was interesting. So that was a local anaesthetic rather than a general anaesthetic. So I was awake during the procedure, and this is going to be interesting. I was awake during the procedure and was able to watch most of what was going on, honest, and chat away to the surgeon and the nurse while we were doing it, which was quite good. He stuck a load of local anaesthetic into my nose, and I do mean a load. And then he had to stick a load more in because I could still feel bits and pieces, a bit painful. Anyhow, yes, so you could say, I've got no nose. You've got no nose? Yes, I've got no nose. How do you smell? Terrible. Sorry. I do apologise. But, no, I have a nose. It hasn't been removed. I just have a half-inch by quarter-inch scar on it where they removed a cancer. It's not the first time, unfortunately, but hopefully this time they've got it all. Anyhow, as I was saying previously, it was 3 weeks from diagnosis on getting the laboratory reports back to actually being cut open, which is pretty good. And as I say, it was relatively easy to organise and so on. Well, I didn't actually organise much of it. It was usually in France you have to organise your own operations and things like that. But this was done for me by the dermatologist and the surgeon, and then the surgeon's assistant just got back to me and said, how about this date? And I said, okay. So that was that. So I thought what I would do is discuss medical procedures and medical so-and-sos in the various different countries that I've lived in. Because I've had the use of hospitals in 3 countries, and medical facilities in, didn't see that, I do apologise. I was looking right and not left. So I thought I would just tell you my thoughts and so on. So we'll start off with private, because when I was young, we had private health, and that was very good in the fact that it was more or less immediate. Everything you wanted was within a very short period of time. So you didn't have to wait very long to see a doctor. In fact, doctors were usually same day if you needed them. And that type of thing. So private was very good, and although I didn't have private in the UK, one of my family members did, and she says that, again, that was a very quick from doctor to surgery on that, so yeah. So private I know about, and it's very quick. It's, as I say, it's also very convenient in that you can sort out times for yourself and things like that. Then we come to the UK. I've had 3 hospital trips in the UK, 2 for surgery and 1 for extended dental work. And I do mean extended. It was over, I think, about 2.5 years actually. So the first hospital trip I had in the UK was under the fund holder system of the 1990s, and that was brilliant. I mean, I can't say anything better than that. It was absolutely fantastic. I went to the doctor. We could see the doctor very quickly. Then you could make an appointment. He made an appointment for me to see a specialist. I saw the specialist the following week in a private hospital. The specialist then arranged for me to have surgery, and I went in about 10 days later into an NHS hospital. And I was in an open ward, so it wasn't, it wasn't a private ward or anything like that. It was just under the NHS system. And I had an excellent operation, if you could call that. Absolutely no problems. Well looked after, absolutely superb. And I would recommend the fund holder system to everybody, because the hospital, which was actually at Whitehaven in Cumbria, was very much like a private hospital, but just open wards, or some open wards. So it was fantastic. I mean, it was just like a private hospital, but it was efficient, effective, quick. Everything was done properly. Absolutely excellent. Then about 3 years later, Tony Blair had changed the fund holder system back to the old NHS system, and I went in again for a similar operation. Same hospital, same surgeon, same ward actually. It was same operating theatre, absolutely everything the same, and it was appalling. They weren't really interested. They had no real motivation. The operation was a bit of a failure. In general, it was an absolute disaster. So we'd gone from superb to a disaster within about 3 years, going from the old fund holder system back to the NHS system. Now, I've got nothing wrong with the NHS, but it's my impression that they should be, their main priority is the patient. But I get the distinct impression that the main priority is not the patient, but the middle management and well, from the current news, virtue signalling as well. Right, so that was the UK. I won't talk about the dental treatment because that was very good, but it was dental treatment rather than an operation, and it was over, as I say, an extended period of time. It was very good, actually. It was very good indeed. Right, then we come to France. I've been into hospital 3 times in France and used the French system. As I say, 3 times. Oh, I missed one in the UK. Doesn't matter, I'll come back to that. And each time, you know, you go to the doctor. He gives you a letter to take to the specialist or surgeon of your choice. You go to the specialist or surgeon of your choice and organise everything. And then in you go. And it's usually organised within, I think each time, it's been within 4 weeks. As I say, certainly this last time was 3 weeks from diagnosis to having the chop. And it's always been, as I say, within about 4 weeks. And the interesting thing is that in France, you can choose whether you want to go into a private hospital or a public hospital. And to a certain extent, it does depend on your surgeon. One of my surgeons that I saw works both in the private and the public. Sorry, I've got a Charlie behind who's being a bit of an idiot. We'll see him come past in a moment. So you can actually choose whether you want public or private, and it just so happens that the surgeon I've chosen, I've always chosen to have normally a weekend, and on a Saturday, yep, that's right, you go in on a Saturday, you work Saturdays. It doesn't work Mondays, but you work Saturdays. That's quite normal in France, actually, for people to work Saturdays but not work Mondays. And you go in on the Saturday, and you sort of get a private room. I'm not going to say it's private, it's a sort of curtained off area for your kid. It's very good, it's very efficient. You could say it was a bit like the NHS the first time I went. Very good, very efficient, everything is hunky-dory. It just so happens, because I wanted my surgery on a Saturday, that I went private. Simple as that. It's not... I could have had it in, you know, the general hospital, or public hospital. So anyhow, that's that. So now I'm having treatment, because it was a carcinoma, so I'm actually having treatment on my nose. And I actually had the first treatment about 4 hours after the op. I kid you not. It was about 4 hours after the operation I had the first treatment. And the interesting thing is that the bandages, or the plaster, or whatever you want to call it, because it's not huge, on my nose, we're putting honey on the scar. Ooh, somebody's binned it. We're putting honey on it, and then a bandage. That's exactly what, you know, the doctor said. Now, I'll talk a little bit about this operation very quickly before we get on to the Périphérique. It looks like somebody has binned it going east. I can't go anywhere, mate, as much as I would like to. Anyhow, he sort of cut open, took out whatever was in there, and then he got a soldering iron, I kid you not, and started burning away at my where he'd operated, which did smell a bit funny, I can tell you that. I also felt it. Now, interestingly, I've got very little pain. After the operation, I took one Doliprane, and after that, I needed a couple more, and really, I haven't really needed any more painkillers at all. It's been fantastic. I was really surprised, seeing as the amount of scarring. I mean, it is 1 inch. About half an inch by a quarter an inch. So, yeah. Anyhow, I'll say thank you very much as I fight with the traffic on the Périphérique. And, oh, come on, Charlie. Decide where you're going, GC335. Because you obviously don't know. So I'll say thank you very much. Please like, share and subscribe. You can tell us about your operations if you wish. But I would say at the moment, if you want hospital treatment, it's better off in France than it is in the UK. So I have medical insurance, so hopefully most of the operation is covered. It wasn't expensive. We're not talking thousands, we're talking a few hundred. Right, thank you very much, and we'll speak to you next time.